Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember where we are? And what happened? And what we read? And what yesterday was? And what today is?
We're in Isaiah.
We are.
We just finished chapter 7.
We did.
And there was lots of bees in it. I remember there was bees. I don't like bees.
The bees were the Assyrians, I believe.
Yeah, they weren't the bee's knees.
They were the cat's pajamas.
But yeah, it was Isaiah talking about God bringing armies to, Israel from other places, and God's going to punish people and shit, because that's what God does.
I love my people. I'm going to kill them all.
Right,
Whee!
yeah. Good times, times. So that was Isaiah chapter 7.
Sure as fuck was.
And today we're going to be reading
Isaiah chapter 8.
Let's go do this.
Okie dokie. All right, Isaiah chapter 8.
Okay.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
It's going to be more prophecies.
I figured, because that's what Isaiah is.
He's
prophecies.
Only a prophet.
Yep.
He's a wizard.
Sure.
He's magical.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Has he done magic yet? I don't think he's done magic.
Isn't a prophecy a magician type thing? Telling the future?
I don't.
It's magic adjacent.
It's magic adjacent, at least. Yeah.
All right. The Lord said to me, Isaiah, not me,
right.
Wife, the reader.
Correct.
Okay. The Lord said to me, Isaiah, take a large scroll. That's what he said. And write on it with an ordinary pen.
Just an ordinary one.
Not a dry
those fancy
erase.
Ones.
Not a dry erase, and certainly not a flare pen.
You think you'd be all right with a Bic?
No.
No?
Probably a Bic. Those are
pretty
plain.
Ordinary, yeah.
Those are ordinary,
right?
Yeah.
But then there are some fancy Bic
I
pens
really
out there.
like the flares.
But probably not the Sharpie pens. Like, those new Sharpie pens?
Yeah, those are my favorite writing pens, but my favorite felt tips are flares.
Yeah.
And, okay.
So just grab an ordinary pen.
Just an ordinary one, not a good one.
Right, just an ordinary one.
Did they have pens back then? I thought they used quills.
Probably had quills, but they're just translating it to
a good quill.
Pen. Something that writes
decent
ordinarily.
Quill. Yeah.
Not those fancy eagle quills.
With
not
the
those,
glitter ink. Mahar Shalel Hashbaz.
Okay.
I actually have a translation for that. So let me get over there to my notes.
Sure.
Because it's kind of important.
Is it?
It is.
Okay. So why don't they just say what it fucking translates to?
Because it's important. That's actually the name of somebody.
Oh.
It's the name of Isaiah's son, and it means speed the spoil, hasten the booty. Not butt booty, but like...
Yeah, no, I got it.
Okay.
It's still funny. So
he's like saying, write this shit down. This is the kid's name that's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah.
Write it with your dry erase marker. So Isaiah called in Uriah the priest and Zechariah, son of Jeberechiah, as reliable witnesses for me.
Reliable witnesses to witness God speaking just to Isaiah, and then Isaiah saying, this is what God's saying to me.
No, he had them witness him writing down this name.
Okay.
They're like, God just told me this. Watch me. I'm writing this name down. You see me writing it down. This isn't something that I wrote later. I didn't retrofit this name.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'm writing it now.
Proving it's a prophecy type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and guess what Isaiah did then?
What did he do?
You'll never guess.
It was with an ordinary pen, whatever it was.
It wasn't, but that's funny. Then I made love to the prophetess.
Wait, what?
So not with an ordinary pen, but maybe an ordinary dick.
Wait, what? He made love to the prophetess?
Yeah.
That was one of the people that came. Is that one of the people that came in?
No.
That's somebody else. There's a prophetess sitting there, and he's like,
the one.
I make you. Are the people still witnessing this? Is this like a?
I don't know, but guess what?
It's interesting.
She conceived.
Whatever's happening here. Oh, damn.
Gave birth to a son.
We jumped forward like 9 months here, I guess.
I guess so.
And the name was the one that he wrote down because he prophesies the name that he gave
He's
it.
like, guess what? Someday I'm gonna have a kid, and I'm gonna name him Steve.
We're gonna start that process right now.
I am
1, 2, 3, go.
And the Lord said to me, name him Maher Shalal Hashbaz, for before the boy knows how to say my father or my mother, the wealth of Damascus and the plunder of Samaria will be carried off by the king of Assyria.
All that booty gone.
Damn.
Man.
He got that booty. Yeah, he did. The Lord spoke to me again. This is all out of order. Is this after the kid was born?
Brett, I'm a little confused here. Because like he started writing with that ordinary pen, and then it got all kinds of fucked up.
And suddenly he was fucking.
Right.
And suddenly there was a prophetess.
And then there was a kid. Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, are we back in the past?
Are we still writing that fucking prophecy? Where are we?
I don't know.
Okay.
Has the baby been born yet?
Born?
Born.
Is that a
the
word?
The born identity. No, it's just how I speak.
Oh, okay.
It's how I say.
Got it.
The Lord spoke to me again at some point. I don't know. Our timeline is fucked.
Yeah.
Because this people has rejected the gently flowing waters of Shiloh and rejoices over Rezin and the son of Remaliah, therefore the Lord is about to bring against them the mighty flood waters of the Euphrates. The king of Assyria with all his motherfucking pomp.
I see.
Okay?
I see.
But not his circumstance, just his pomp. It will overflow all its channels, run over all its banks, and sweep on into Judah, swirling over it, passing through it, and reaching up to the neck.
That damn Euphrates.
When it said overflowing all its channels,
yeah,
all I could think was, remember back when Max was still called HBO? That was a good channel. JK. Its outspread wings will cover the breadth of your land, Emmanuel.
So we're talking about like another regional. We're talking about a flood again.
Yes, always.
But
with
is
the
this
flood.
a flood or is this like a? Is he talking about them flooding in from?
Right. Is this a
Syria,
water flood or is
Syria,
this an invasion flood?
Right, because he kind of. It might be an invasion flood because
I think it's an invasion.
He was saying
flood,
something about Assyria and the armies and stuff like that too.
It feels like he was being symbolic,
right,
and imaginative, and what's that word? Imagery.
Right, that's the one. Yeah.
Okay. Raise the war cry, you nations, and be shattered, smothered, covered.
Yeah, you definitely can't war against water, so that must be what he's talking about.
It's
war. It's a flood of people.
A flood of
fighting.
Nations.
Yeah.
Listen, all you distant lands, prepare for battle and be shattered. Smothered, covered. Prepare for battle and be shattered. Smothered, covered.
Just stop with that.
Nope, I'll never stop ever. Ever. Devise your strategy, but it'll be thwarted. So don't devise a strategy.
Yeah.
Why bother?
Right.
Propose your plan, but it will not stand, for God is with us. The man.
Wait, God is with who?
I don't know.
I thought Assyria. I'm confused.
I'm confused.
I thought God was sending people to destroy Israel.
Yes.
So are they saying God is with the Assyrians and
that's what I think.
Who don't believe in Him?
Yeah.
And like I'm really confused as to what's happening.
I think God is sending other people to destroy His own people because His own people suck so hard that He's like, I'd rather fuck with them than with you.
But how can people that don't believe in God say that God is with them? They don't even believe in Him.
I don't know.
So that makes no sense.
But God is with them.
I guess.
They don't have to believe in Him. He believes in them. This is what the Lord says to me with His strong hand upon me, warning me not to follow the way of His people. Do not call conspiracy everything this people calls a conspiracy. Do not fear what they fear and do not dread it. The Lord Almighty is the one you are to regard as holy. He is the one you are to fear. He is the one you are to dread. He will be a holy place for both Israel and Judah. He will be a stone that causes people to stumble and a rock that makes them fall. And for the people of Jerusalem, He will be a trap and a snare.
He's all about fighting His own people.
He loves it. He loves murder and mayhem and blood.
Yeah.
Many of them will stumble. They will fall and be broken. They will be snared and captured. Okay. So bind up this testimony of warning. That's what...
This is the scroll. This is before he screwed the prophetess and before he had his kid and all this.
I really don't know.
Because he told him to start writing with the ordinary pen,
okay,
right?
Yeah. Okay.
So, like, we jumped ahead and then we came back.
Okay.
I think.
So he hasn't fucked the girl yet.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless that happened like as he was writing it. In the
midst of writing,
and then came back to the writing.
And fucked, and now he's writing again.
Yeah, that could be.
Okay, I don't know.
But the kid's not born yet, at least.
You think not?
I mean, not if he's still writing the scroll.
Oh, and they haven't been attacked yet because it said that he was gonna the land would be attacked before his kid was grown or something.
Yeah,
shit like that. Okay. Bind up this testimony of warning and seal up God's instruction among my disciples. I will wait for the Lord who is hiding his face from the descendants of Jacob. Why? Why doesn't he show his face?
Because he's a dick.
He's such a dick. Such a narcissistic son of a bitch.
He sends people to kill his people. He kills his people directly sometimes. Yeah. That's the part I don't understand. Like, you can kill them directly. Yeah. You've done it.
Yeah.
Why do you have to fuck with other people to kill them?
And why do you have to let innocents go as well? That's bullshit.
My guess is that these are things that happen in history and they just needed an excuse as to why they happen. That's really what my theory is.
It's always with the retrofit.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I will put my trust in him. Of course you will. Because you're simple is why. Here am I and the children the Lord has given me. We are signs and symbols in Israel from the Lord Almighty who dwells on Mount Zion. When someone tells you to consult mediums and spiritualists who whisper and mutter, should not a people inquire of their God? Why consult the dead on behalf of the living?
You're a prophet. You are no better than them, in my opinion, because other people can't distinguish between you and what a medium is or whatever, because you all seem to be talking to these spirits or these things that they can't see.
Invisible magic powers.
So why should they believe you more than that other person? Right. Why are you more important than this person?
Exactly.
It makes no fucking sense.
And anyway, you're fucking a prophetess.
Right. Yeah.
So you condone women by fucking her.
But this is where you get into the thick of it with who God is and what God is, right?
Right.
Because why am I to take this person's word over that person's word?
Right.
It's not a matter of, I can't see God, right?
Yeah.
You can't see God. The other person down the street can't see God. We're taking this person's word for that God exists. Right. And God said these things.
And then somebody else comes and says something entirely different. And they're like, no, but for real.
Right.
Like, how am I supposed to know which one is which?
It's just a goddamn popularity contest at this point.
Right. Like, both of you are claiming invisible deity things, ghosts, whatever, talk to you. And I'm supposed to believe either of you? Because you both kind of sound crazy.
And this is still what it is today. And I'm like, fuck y'all. None of y'all have an actual God that exists. So fuck off.
There is no magic. You are all either crazy or liars.
Right.
Yeah. Consult God's instruction and the testimony of warning. If anyone does not speak according to this word, they have no light of dawn. Distressed and hungry, they will roam through the land. When they are famished, they will become enraged, and looking upward, will curse their king and their God.
I see.
Then they will look toward the earth and see only distress and darkness and fearful gloom, and will be thrust into utter darkness. The end.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I hate it when prophetesses and prophets and wizards and magic people go hungry and get angry.
Right. It's not good. It's not good.
All right, so this was Isaiah chapter 8.
Yep.
And it was, let the Lord be your fear, and how to prepare for God's judgment.
I see.
Okay. So
we definitely haven't forgot that fear is important.
Always fear.
Yeah,
always fear your owner.
Right.
I mean, right?
Right.
The invasion is announced early on, like in the first opening verses, with the naming of Isaiah's son. The sign of Mahar Shalal Hashbaz, which I already told you means speed the spoil, hasten the booty.
Right.
Get that booty over here. Back that truck up. Since the sign of Emmanuel gives an undisclosed time in the future, because remember, in the last chapter, he was like, there's going to be a baby born to a virgin, and that baby's name at some point is going to be called Emmanuel.
Right.
Well, that's sometime in the future.
Okay.
So this time he gives another sign that deals with the immediate moment in the form of a child with an ordinary birth because everybody's fucking prophetesses,
Yeah, right.
with ordinary pens.
Ordinary pens.
And a name which would be a standing witness to the prophecy both about the enemy at the gate and about the next victim of the Assyrians, which is going to be Judah itself.
I don't understand how you can prophesy something that you make come true.
Right? Like, in the future, I will fuck. Okay. So say we all. And I will impregnate a bitch. Mm-hmm. Probably that, as men do.
And then right? I'm going to name the kid this.
Okay, I believe you.
Right? Yeah, like
that's not
a fucking prophecy.
That's not a prophecy.
It's it's a promise.
That's your daily plan.
Right?
Like, fuck, impregnate, be in charge of naming the baby.
Yep.
Yes, that's a regular Tuesday, my guy. I mean, right? That's what dudes did back then. They fucked. And,
yeah.
And fucked and fought. That's all they did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that doesn't seem special to me.
No, it did not.
Okay. Using evil to fight evil would bring Judah to the path of the torrent or flood, which would jeopardize herself as the land of Emmanuel. But for Emmanuel's sake, there's a limit set.
Okay.
So God is like, he's going to use evil to fight evil. So that's the part where he's bringing in the Assyrians to attack the land of Emmanuel.
Okay.
Okay.
But what do they mean by there's a limit? Like
Because there's still going to be people living.
Okay.
There's still going to be...
He's not going to destroy them all.
Right. Okay. He's going to not totally flood them. He's only going to kind of flood them.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. There will still be survivors.
This is the bit where he leaves like one man for every 7 women type thing.
Right.
And all that?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. So then we get into the next few verses, which are prepare by fearing God, not Assyria. God is our refuge or our ruin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to be scared that Assyria is coming to
kill you.
Right.
Wouldn't be being scared of the Assyrians. Wouldn't that be being scared of God? Because God is the one sending them to kill you. So it's still fear of God, wouldn't it? I mean, just by
It's
proxy?
Not by proxy, though. He's saying, don't worry about the Assyrians. They'll kill you or not. But at the end of the day, when you die, I'm the one you'll have to face.
Got it. Okay.
So,
all right.
Don't worry about them. Worry about me.
All right.
The whole reason I'm sending them is because you haven't been worried about me.
God's kind of an ass.
He really is.
Yeah.
Like, this does not engender love in me.
No.
So this part contains Isaiah's defiant response to the meaning of Emmanuel, which means God with us, and to God's insistence that people should reshape their thinking and emotional attitudes around God himself. Okay? So Isaiah is like saying, okay, at some point there's going to be a kid named Emmanuel, but like, what about today? Like, what's happening today?
Yeah.
And God is like, you guys aren't thinking of today. You're thinking of like everything that you want.
Right.
And you're scared not of me like you should be. You're scared of all these enemies. So fine, I'm going to send these enemies.
Okay. All right.
So the oracle of judgment in this part gives clear warning to all conspiring against the community that the presence of Emmanuel, which means God is with us, will overthrow their plans. There is no political solution to the community's problems, and the people are to trust in God. Let him be your fear, and let him be your dread.
Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
And over and over
apparently
again.
really important. Yeah. Trust God.
Always
fear God.
Love him, by which I mean fear him.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Be afraid. Never not be afraid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? At the time of this prophecy, the combined armies of Israel and Syria had destroyed much of Judah. Their armies either encircled Jerusalem or were on the way.
I see.
They planned to depose King Ahaz of Judah and set their own man on the throne. And Isaiah's prophecy declared the armies of Syria and Israel, but would not succeed in totally conquering Judah.
Okay.
They would just mostly kill him.
Mostly. Right. Got it.
Not totally dead. Mostly dead. They mostly come out at night. Mostly.
Right.
Okay, so then we move on to the next set of verses, which are prepare by waiting on the Lord, prepare by seeking his light and word, not the darkness of the occult. So don't go fucking prophetesses. Oh, wait, no, you did that. I told you to do that. Hold on.
Right.
Don't.
No share pools.
Yeah. No,
other gods, no sacrificing your kids to Balak or
Molech.
Molech, yeah.
Yeah. So the light is withdrawn, and God is like saying there's no light in you. There's no light in the people who prophesy and say things not in my name. They do not carry the message of the Lord.
Okay.
And he's saying this part indicates that Israel is losing God's teaching and blessing, and because Israel is refusing the light of
Again,
God.
I question that because you're trusting human beings to be truthful about the word of God or whatever.
Right.
Whereas there's other people saying different things.
Just as believably and emphatically and
right.
hard.
And again, that's still true today.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of different religious groups out there.
Yep.
And they're all saying something different. So what is it that makes... How are you able to discern which one is correct?
Right.
They all think they're fucking correct.
Yeah.
So whatever. It's a bunch of shit.
It really is. And it's an impossible choice.
Right.
You're supposed to just pick one and assume that is the correct one. And I don't understand. Again, I can't, like I said this yesterday, I can't just flip a switch and start believing. But even if I could, I would have to pick one. And I don't know which one.
Well, and then people would be like, trust your heart, trust your, ask for God's guidance or whatever.
Right.
And ultimately, whatever you pick is going to be correct, right? But then the people that aren't part of that group don't think it's correct. So
because they're following their heart.
Right.
So like your heart told you this, but my heart doesn't. So one of our hearts is lying.
And if we're to believe there really is a God, then somebody's fucking wrong. Actually, a lot of people are fucking wrong.
Right. So I don't get it. I don't fucking get it.
Right.
I really don't.
Yeah.
So at the time Isaiah spoke, the leaders and the people of Judah were waiting. They were actually physically waiting on the armies of Israel and Syria because they were under attack.
I see.
So all this was happening like as Isaiah's like giving these prophecies.
Ah, okay.
So again, he's like, today I'm going to fuck. And I'm probably going to impregnate this bitch. And she's going to have a baby. And this is what we're going to call him.
Right.
And that's a prophecy.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I heard from a scout today that there's armies on the edge of our
empire. So I'm going
empire.
to write that as a prophecy also.
So I bet that they attack us. And that's a prophecy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I see
really
how
dumb.
you roll.
That's really dumb.
Like, I could do that. Let's see. There's dishes on the counter. I prophesized that I am going to run the dishwasher today.
Yeah.
I might even have to run it twice. Yeah. Because there's enough for 2 loads.
Right,
yeah. Oh, you know what? Also, I don't have any clean jeans. I bet I do a load of laundry today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my prophecy.
Yeah, that's pretty good prophecies there.
Yeah.
Did you write it down with an ordinary pen?
Actually, I wrote it down with a special God pen.
Oh, special God pen, huh?
I mean, it's a Sharpie pen. Those Sharpie gel pens, they're like, what are they, S gel?
This may be why you're not getting as much as you want done, though, because God wants you to write it down with an ordinary pen.
But the thing is, the ordinary pens, they're gloppy, and they don't write as smooth. So, honestly, those pens could eat my ass. There's a whole drawer full of them in this desk.
Yeah.
I would throw them away, but also there's a part of me that's like, but they still work and they're pens. You can't throw away pens.
That's a working pen, yeah.
Yeah. So those are the ones that, like, if somebody comes over, nobody ever comes over. But if somebody ever came over and was like, hey, I need a pen, I would be like, use one of these ordinary pens.
Yeah.
Not one of my special S gel pens.
Right.
My Sharpie pens.
Yep.
Yeah. So I wrote those prophecies down with my special pens, not the ordinary pen. Therefore, they shall probably not come to pass. So that means I don't have to do dishes and laundry. Yes.
No, that's not what that means.
Damn. All right. So the heading on into the end here.
Yep.
When he says tie up this writing or whatever he said.
Okay.
That you already commented on it. That we're going back to
right because he finished it up.
And that was his prophecy, which we read that and understood it.
Sure,
we didn't need that explanation. But God is like basically trying to tell them, you need to think differently about me now. You need to.
But he's telling them to think about him the same way that he's always said.
Yes, which
it's
is
always
fear
me and love and whatever.
You're not fearing enough, so I'm going to kill you.
Yeah,
that's not new.
It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah. So that's the end. That's all
right.
I got.
All right. So that was Isaiah chapter 8.
It was. It sure as fuck was.
And we will be back tomorrow on time with what?
Isaiah chapter 9.
All right. We will see you guys then.
Yep. Bye.
Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.